Every night at 2 in the morning, the abandoned concert hall on Linden Street plays a song no human wrote. Most people in the village of Ashford believe the old building is just settling wood and rattling glass. But 73-year-old Arthur Marsh knows the difference between a creaking floorboard and a piano chord. Arthur spent 40 years tuning pianos before his hands grew too stiff to feel the strings properly. He retired to a small cottage at the edge of Ashford, where the silence felt heavier than he expected. One October evening, he followed the sound through the hall's rusted side door and stepped inside. Dust covered every seat in the balcony, and moonlight fell across the stage in pale silver sheets. On the stage sat a black grand piano that had not been touched in over a decade. The keys were moving on their own, pressing down in slow, deliberate patterns that filled the hall with music. Arthur stood frozen in the doorway, watching the hammers strike strings that should have gone silent years ago. The melody was not random noise or a simple repeating phrase a child might pick out. It was a full composition with rising passages, quiet bridges, and a deep emotional weight that made his chest ache. He sat in the front row and listened until the music faded and the keys came to rest. The next night, he returned with a folding chair and a thermos of tea, and the piano played again. Arthur began visiting every evening, and each night the music was different, as if the piano was composing something new. Arthur visited every evening, and each night the piano played a brand new melody he had never heard before. The music sounded bright on warm days, and turned dark and slow when rain hit the roof above. One night, he found a faded program tucked under the piano lid from a long-forgotten concert. The program listed a pianist named Clara Dunbar, who played her final recital here before she died. Arthur realized the piano was replaying every single performance it had ever held inside its wooden frame. The building remembered every concert, every clap, every quiet moment when someone cried in the dark. He never told another soul about the piano, because some things are too beautiful to share with a world that would only call it a trick. Every night until his hands could no longer carry him there, Arthur sat alone in the dark and let the music carry him home. The concert hall was demolished the following spring, but the neighbors swore they could still hear piano music drifting across the empty lot.